This is a line chart tracking the voluntary carbon market, or VCM, the system where corporations purchase environmental credits to offset their own emissions. Looking at the data from the 2021 peak down to 2024, transaction volume plummeted by 25%, and overall market value dropped 29%. When financial indicators drop this quickly across a 3-year span, the external narrative usually suggests that corporate buyers are abandoning climate finance entirely. But the data on retirements, the moment a company permanently uses a credit to offset its carbon footprint, tells a different story. That number formed a steady line at 182 million tons in 2024, remaining stable while the transaction market crashed. Corporate demand for reliable offsets remains consistent. The market contraction is actually a mass rejection of the low-quality, poorly verified credits that once dominated the system. During the boom era of 2020 and 2021, the market operated without strict guardrails. Project developers met a surge in demand with millions of cheap credits, primarily from early renewable energy projects. Then came a wave of global scrutiny. Scientific audits and investigative reports revealed that many of these projects were not additional, meaning the climate benefit would have happened even without the carbon credit money. Today's buyers have systematically rejected these assets. The financial shrinkage in 2024 represents a deliberate purge. The market is actively removing ineffective climate assets from the global inventory. Corporate capital is migrating in one direction, away from emission reductions and toward active carbon removals. A reduction credit comes from an action that prevents new greenhouse gases from entering the air, like building a wind farm instead of a coal plant. While these were once the market's backbone, they are rapidly losing market share. A removal credit represents a project that physically strips existing carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. This requires massive ecosystems, such as afforestation or ARR projects that plant new forests, and blue carbon initiatives that restore coastal mangrove habitats. The financial proof of this shift is staggering. Corporate buyers are now paying a 381% price premium for removal credits over standard reductions. This price gap illustrates a clear flight to quality. Corporations are willing to pay significantly more for the verifiable, physical extraction of atmospheric carbon. Buyers are also paying a massive premium for fresh data. Credits generated within the last 5 years are currently trading for 217% more than older vintages. Older credits are becoming obsolete because they rely on outdated accounting methods. Modern buyers are favoring new projects that employ stringent, data-heavy measurement techniques. This rigor is being enforced by the Integrity Council for the Voluntary Carbon Market, or ICVCM. They award a Core Carbon Principles label, the CCPs, to projects that meet the highest international standards for governance and impact. Earning that label generates immediate financial results. Landfill gas projects, which capture and destroy methane, saw their trading volumes surge by 149% in 2024, the moment they secured CCP approval. Scientific rigor and independent verification now dictate financial value. These standards have become the baseline requirement for any project seeking to access global capital. This restructuring is moving carbon credits out of the realm of voluntary corporate initiatives and into the architecture of binding international law. This shift is led by CORSIA, the Carbon Offsetting and Reduction Scheme for International Aviation. This program forces the global airline industry to adopt stringent new carbon credit standards to meet their legal emission targets. At the same time, we are seeing the activation of Article 6 of the Paris Agreement. This creates a UN-backed nation-to-nation mechanism for trading carbon credits across international borders. The implementation of CORSIA and Article 6 marks the end of self-regulation. The definition of a saved ton of carbon is being universally codified by global regulatory bodies. Because these new quality standards are so high, the market is facing a temporary shortage of approved high-integrity credits. Project developers are currently taking the time to overhaul their operations to meet these new global requirements. It is an integrity bottleneck. This painful transition is exactly what is required to build a multi-billion-dollar financial engine capable of actually decarbonizing the planet.